up, everyone? I'm Harper with the Curvy Fashionista. Now, when I first heard the title, Show Me Your Dick, a lifetime of dating in a larger body, I immediately had questions. Luckily, comedian Cara Meyers had answers. What started off as a conversation about unsolicited dick pics turned into a much bigger discussion about plus size dating, dating app disasters, body confidence, and things that women are frankly tired of explaining. Can I get a hello? Trust me, she did not hold back. Listen into our conversation. How are you doing today, Kyra?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that we get a chance to talk to you. I've watched some of your clips and you are so funny. What made you decide to create a show centered on unsolicited dick pics?
I've had the idea for so long because the first time I got an unsolicited dick pic, I was in seventh grade. So it's something yeah, exactly. They've been happening to me forever. And I was frustrated and I wanted to do something. I used to do a series on Instagram, like every Tuesday, I would show insane messages I've gotten online from men. And some of them were the dick pics, but I would obviously like blur them out because it's the internet.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, I have more to say about this. And then I was in like the hardest summer of my life, and I had all of these feelings, and I was frustrated, and I didn't know what to do with all of them. And I reached out to my director, and she helped me like shape this show. So that's how it started, but it's just a lifetime of being frustrated.
Because seventh grade, that's pretty young. What do you think goes through their minds when these men send dick pictures? Because that's the first thing I be thinking about. Like, what makes you think I want to see this?
But they don't. They know you don't want to see it. I think it's like the way I see it, at least, because sending a dick pic is a way for men to exert their power over the recipient. And like I am an attractive fat woman and they're mad at me for it. Like that's what it's always been. You're mad that you're attracted to me because society says that being fat is bad, but you are inherently attracted to fat women. We are beautiful and you hate that. And so you're mad at me for your own feelings. And then if I don't like fall in line the way they want me to, they're like, fuck you. Look at my gross dick.
And that's a punishment in itself. Okay,
Literally,
that's
literally. Some of these are some of the worst things I've ever seen.
I never thought about it the way you just put it. Sending those type of pictures is exerting power. I didn't think about that. How did you come to that realization?
I live in Los Angeles. I have a lot of very like conventionally attractive female friends who don't get half of the shit that I get online. So it's a little insane that this happens to me so much, but not my friends who have like OnlyFans or like my friends who post erotic like things on the internet. They get way tamer messages than I've ever gotten, and I'm just like a fat woman who loves herself on the internet. Like, how dare I? A lot of the times when I would get them on dating apps, it was when I wouldn't respond to someone's message. So they expected me as a fat woman to
Yeah.
be interested in them, and I wasn't. And then so they were mad at me about it. And it's like, well, like we're all attracted to who we are attracted to. I'm not sorry I'm not attracted to you. It's fine. It's normal. We don't have to be mean to each other out, but they're upset because they're like, well, society says that you're bad because you're fat, so you should be taking my little crumbs. And it's like, well, no. Look at my DMs. I don't need your crumbs. My DMs are full at all times. Like,
What's the wildest reaction you've gotten when you explain the premise of your show to someone? Because I know people are like, you said what? Your show's about what?
yeah, women love it. Women love the premise. I have had some women say to me like, "Oh, I've never gotten an unsolicited dick pic. Am I wrong?" And I'm like, "No, like it's not good. You don't want them." Uh, I actually I did an event on Monday for the Hollywood Fringe Festival, and it was like I did 10 minutes of my piece for an audience to try and get more ticket sales. And obviously I did not show dick pics during this. You have to consent to seeing them, and I put that on my poster. So you have to buy a ticket to my show knowing what you're going to see. So I did like a story, and this older man came up to me after and was like, "You're really funny. I loved that story, but the idea of your show makes me really uncomfortable. And I was like, great, imagine how I feel every
Yeah.
day. And he was like, and I was like, exactly. Like, like, at least if you're walking into my show, you know what you're seeing. I
Yes.
don't know what I'm seeing when I'm getting these messages. And he just put his head down and walked away from me.
He's like, thank you for proving my point. Yes.
Exactly. Like, I get it that it makes you uncomfortable, but I'm also like, did this man send an unsolicited dick pic or two in his day? Probably. A little nervous he might be there.
Yes.
That's not my fault.
Did anything surprise you while making this show? Because you said you've been receiving them since 7th grade a long time. So I'm pretty sure there's a compilation, a long list of pictures or a long list of scenarios. Did anything surprise you when you were going through and putting this show together?
I guess I didn't realize like it really highlighted because the show the hook of the show is dick pics obviously, but it's also just like about my dating journey as like being fat my entire life.
Yeah.
So I think the show kind of like healed a part of me that was like, oh, I keep running into the same patterns because I want a certain outcome, but like insanity is the thing where you do it the same thing over and over again. And I realized like that is what I've been doing in my dating life. So I think like
Mm.
actually reflecting and like being vulnerable to know what to put in the show and like having somebody I really, really trust my director. She's incredible. And so having her like with me on this journey, being like, hey, a lot of these stories like very different, but like the outcomes are the same or the lesson is the same. I was like, oh, I've been dating the same person over and over and over again. So I think that was like I've been in therapy forever, and even my therapist couldn't get me to that conclusion. So that was probably the thing that surprised me the most. And how many women don't get like unsolicited dick pics? I assumed it was an everybody occasion. Like I just got a lot more, but no, there are a lot of women that do not get them.
That is really surprising because I thought maybe at least once or twice in your lifetime. Like I said, I know that's something I've received or even like opened the call. Like we're just talking for the first time on FaceTime and
Yep.
then
Uh-huh.
you show me I'm like, sir, that no. Absolutely.
Yep. My first, it's in the show, but my first one was via Skype. But yeah, it was on Skype with somebody I knew. It was like a planned thing, literally, literally. It's funny because I'm like in the opposite world. Like I don't know women who are sending like unsolicited pictures of their vagina.
Or not. And if you
We're
do,
not.
maybe deeply disturbed. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go get help because that's like personally, I don't want to take a picture of that and look at it and then send it to somebody. That's insane.
so you said the show dives into your dating experience. Do you utilize like dating apps?
I am off dating apps right now. Believe it or not, men are terrified to date somebody whose entire online presence right now is about a show called Show Me Your Dick, a lifetime of dating in a larger body. So it's like, but yes, I have done a lot of online dating. Not my favorite thing to do.
I think it's always fun in the beginning, and then because you just have so many options, and then as you weed through, you're like, ugh, ill,
No. I
no.
mean, the amount of like, oh, I've never been with a thicker girl, but you look like the first one I should try. And I'm like, yes, that gets me so wet. I'm so happy. Thank you. Ugh, I hate it. I hate
And then
it.
I don't see why they think it's a compliment, and it's like I don't want to be your first, and I don't want to be the finish to start that. No, we're not doing that.
No, and I've been the first before, and it's not fun. Like, no, don't do that to me. No, thank you.
What is one dating trend that you wish would disappear immediately?
I guess, oh God, there's so many. I hate. I don't understand all the like labels now. Like we're dating, we're in the talking stage, we're this, we're a situationship, and I'm like, I don't know. If we like each other, can we just like each other? Like, and then like that's me being 37, I guess. But I don't like the people who are like, I am dating six people who don't know about each other, and I'm like, that's too much. That's how I can't date one person. I don't have the time. You have six? I don't get
It's
it.
it's a lot of juggling, and I understand the rosters when
Yes.
girls like eight. I'm like,
I,
oh my Jesus.
if you want a roster and you're like open and honest about it and people know what they're into, then I'm fine. But it's when you have a roster and the other five people you're dating don't know about it. That's when I'm like out of it. But if you have six people and all six of them know that there are five other people in the mix, good on you. Have a good time. Couldn't possibly be me, but I'm happy for you. I can barely juggle my own life. I can't juggle five, six men. God, I don't want to. Men are exhausting.
They are, and I think you made a great point when you said the honesty part was is lacking when it comes to the roster,
Yes,
and first of
yes,
all, that's just dangerous in
yes,
general. But
literally.
why again? You got to ask six men that you probably don't really care about to know how their day is going, and ask all
Exactly.
six questions, and you're like, it's
You have
tiring.
the
It's
same
exhausting.
conversation with all of them. No. Mm-mm. Men are. I. No. I feel like it's a lot of also like just I don't know, man. Men are frustrating. They're hard. Like it feels like it's always like fun, and then the second you go on like a date, and I don't know if this happens to other women, all of a sudden I become like an emotional support system for them, and I get it. Like I live in Los Angeles, but I'm like Midwestern to my core, so I think people take that as like I'm so nice and kind, and it's like no, I just have manners, like Midwestern manners. And so I think I become someone's like emotional crutch a lot of times when I'm dating. And I'm like, I could not be six men's emotional crutch. That would be exhausting. I'm barely good at being one. So like,
And also,
what?
that should come with a salary for six men. That's
Yes,
a salary at that point.
exactly. Pay me. Everyone, I think I'm one of them that I'm not, if I don't have a like, we've been together for 3 years, you are my very serious girlfriend, here's a ring. If you're making me do emotional labor, I should be getting $150 an hour. I do that emotional labor like I'm your therapist because you should have one.
Let's write into law. Let's write into
Please.
Why, my other question is, why do you think men struggle with approaching women in a normal way online? Like, why do you think that it's not a disconnect. I think it's a disconnect in their brain, but why do you think there's a struggle there?
I do wonder if like some, and this is me being generous to them, so you're welcome, men. I think I'm like, are some of you trying to be funny? Like, is that, and it's like not working. But I do also think like having a computer in front of you and this distance, you get to be your worst self. It's like internet trolls. I'm sure we've all met an internet troll in real life, and they're like probably a nice person. Maybe I'm again being generous. But if you don't have any actual consequences and you can just say what you want to say and ignore anything that's being said back to you or like block the person right away, you don't have to take accountability for your shitty thoughts and actions. And I think that's probably why they do them.
Lack of accountability. Yep.
It gets you a lot of places, a lot of bad places.
It,
I think part of my show, I have messages from men I've gotten on dating apps, and I make the men in the audience read them out loud. And it makes men so uncomfortable, but it doesn't happen until about like 40 minutes into my show. So I have you on my side. We're kikiing, we're having a good time. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you to do, and it makes them so uncomfortable. But I'm like, every single one of you knows somebody who has talked to either me or someone that looks like me like this. And like, if you're uncomfortable, have those conversations with men.
what I see on like social media when we're telling men that we're receiving these messages, they're like, oh, they're lying. It can't be possible. Like, there's no way no one's talking to you like that. You're just making it up for attention. And then I'm glad that you actually have them read the messages and like, no, this is serious. This is real life.
Also, like, some of, like, I feel like this happens a lot to fat women, but like, it's always like overtly sexual immediately. And I'm
Hmm.
like, if all you wanted to do was have sex with me, like, I don't know, be a person, take me out on a date, and if we vibe, like, that might happen. You know what I mean? I am a human being, I'm a regular person, and I should be treated like one. It's not that hard.
Absolutely. You're absolutely. What's the biggest green flag that a person can have right now for you?
Ooh, I guess like, and this is such a sad green flag, but one that is big to me is like, do you treat women you are not attracted to like human beings? A
That's
lot of a lot of men don't. They're like, if they don't want to sleep with you, you mean nothing to them.
mm-hmm.
And that's such a red flag to me because it's like, oh, you don't see women as humans. You see them as like sexual beings and that's it. But if like if you're not attracted to someone, but you're still like they're a great person and I want to be their friend, that's a huge red flag, green flag to me.
I like
Which is
that. I like that. Just you can definitely tell a person's personality by how they treat others. But I like that you
mhm.
added on to that when I'm not attracted to them. Because sometimes when men are attracted to you, they're the nicest person in the world. They're
Yep,
the nicest.
yep. And then they just flip and you're like, oh, okay, so you were only nice to me because you wanted me to get into my pants. Great. Love that. Love that for me.
Right. I know we don't want to give away too much from the show, but what's the worst scenario for the unsolicited dick pics that you have received before? That you're like, oh, I really, really, really can't believe this is happening.
I don't have this in my show because I blocked it and it's like a little aggressive, but the day Roe versus Wade was overturned, I was really upset. It was an awful moment in history, and I put like a cute selfie of me drinking on my Instagram story. And two separate men I do not know who were not following me responded to that story. So they had to go find me, look at my Instagram stories of videos of them masturbating in the shower. Two separate men masturbating in the shower, not together, separate videos, separate places, but both in my DMs. And like that was horrific because I was like, whoa, like that. I'm so sorry. The only people I want to see masturbating are like someone I'm dating when I ask for that video, or like that's it, or like if I'm on someone's OnlyFans and I'm paying to see that content. Other than that, like don't.
Harassment.
That is, well, sending unsolicited dick pics is also sexual harassment and it's illegal. And so adding like a video aspect of it is so aggressive. I was like, oh God.
And the word yuck, because and it's crazy that there are two separate men that had that same thought on these.
Yes. Yeah. Very fun. I was like, what the fuck? And then I blocked them. And honestly, I think that would be too much to show in the
Yeah,
show. Like that's like we can have a good time seeing like little, photos. And I do what I can to like nobody's name is in it, nobody's face is in it, even though all of that information was sent to me. And some people are worried, like, isn't that illegal to do this? And I was like, actually, I get consent to send these, and what you did was illegal. So
and if he was worried about it being illegal, you shouldn't have done it.
exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna move into some hot takes. I
Ooh.
want to know what's your most controversial dating opinion.
I no longer believe that there's like the one. I think that
Hmm.
you grow up and you get older and you're like, oh, this works, this is doing well, and then like love is the baseline and everything else. Like, I love you, that's enough, but like we have to be able to grow together. We have to be able to communicate. And I used to believe in like there's only one person for you. Fuck that. That's wrong. Nope. I'm done. There's no the one.
It's when the timing's right. When the
Yes.
timing's right, everything sets in place, and it's like, okay, you're there. Like you
Yeah.
said,
I
we're on the
it's
same
much
path.
more it's a decision. I think you actively make the decision to be with somebody instead of being like the universe brought us together. And I'm like, no, you were ready, they were ready, and you were able to like communicate healthfully, and that's the relationship that you're in.
So when I hear people say like, "Oh, it's a fairy tale," I'm like, "Girl, if you only knew,
And
if you
maybe
only."
that's sad of me that I'm 37 and I no longer believe in the one, but I believed in them for too long and it didn't work. So
Look, and we're on the same boat. What's a romantic gesture that's actually overrated? What is something that social media has convinced people is normal, but is absolutely not?
I feel like it's also like so normal now to like put your relationship out there so much that people feel like they're a part of it and then
Yeah,
they care so much about it and I'm like that's not it. I also am just like parasocial relationships scare me so much because you can feel like you really know somebody but you've never had a conversation with them and then
hmm
like everybody online has an opinion about everything and then all of a sudden you're getting like 50 different opinions from people who don't know you or your relationship, but they only know what you've put out there. And I think people forget that disconnect. Like, I'm only putting a part of my life online for you. So you might think you know everything, but you know, like, literally the smallest bit.
So you're not the type like to follow like YouTube couples. I think I've
No.
heard about that phrase, but like, okay, that was cute.
I don't even post if I'm dating somebody. You might like I think I might be someone who like would do a story about somebody like 6 months into talking to them and then you'll never see him again and you don't know if I'm still dating him and I'm probably not because I'm still single at 37. But I'm like I don't I don't need the world to know that part. I'm a very, and maybe that's because I don't want to jinx it. I'm that person that's like, oh, if I put it on, and then I am also like, if you put your relationship all over the internet and then all of a sudden you stop posting about them, I have to know what happened. Like you told us all about your relationship. Tell us about your downfall. I
Yeah,
need to know.
this is our relationship, like the
Yeah.
parasocial.
What happened? You have to tell me.
And
Did
don't
you?
leave out the juicy details either. Let me know what they
Yeah.
do.
I'm not just you went separate ways or you've grown apart. No, bitch, what happened?
We gonna jump together. I love that. I love that. My last question for this pop culture is: what hill are you willing to die on when it comes to dating? So you're like, I'm not doing that, no matter what happens, or I don't.
Okay. I am not. I guess the hill I'm willing to die on is like, I don't think a first date has to be anything like grand. I'm not one of those women that's like, you need to take me to dinner and plan this. I'm like, no, you need to, let's grab a coffee. And if we like each other, we can continue on. Like I'm like, I want a low effort first date.
Mhm.
That works best for me. I think that is I'm like, yes, don't, I'm not that I'm not a high effort person, but I'm like, this is our first time meeting. I don't think we should be sitting at a 2 hour dinner. What if we hate each other? A coffee gives you 30 minutes, and if you like each other, you can continue the date on. And if you don't, like, you have an easy out. And I think we should be giving each other easy outs.
Okay, I do like that the 30 minute are the kind of like the time limit on the date for the first date because I agree. One, I feel like dinner dates can be awkward because we're trying to talk in between bites. I'm really not worried about you. I'm worried about eating. So it gets difficult to try to talk to you. And then I've heard, I'm not sure if you've heard, but people gone on these dates that last all day. And I'm like, uh,
I have done that, and I think it's like the same as texting somebody a bunch before you meet up. I think it gives you a false sense of
yeah,
intimacy, and you have this like grand idea who somebody is, but like you just have like fun. I think the other thing is like I'm so extroverted. I love to be out and around people. I love to chat. And I have a hard time being like, was that date fun or was I fun? Because I'm fun.
mm,
And that's like, I think it's easier in an hour to know that who was fun than like we're spending all day together. Then it's like I can romanticize what happened. But like I have done that. I have done a marathon date, and guess what, bitch? I'm still single. They don't always work. They don't mean anything.
no, I agree. And I really like that. I really like what you said about is the date fun or was I fun? Because I feel the same way. I'm like, I know I'm a good time.
Yes,
So, and I'm projecting on that good time on you when you're probably, your date wasn't probably that good at all.
exactly. I'm fun. I'm fun. I'm chatty. I'm down for whatever. You're gonna have a good time with me. But like,
hmm
am I gonna have a good time with you? I don't know because I'm having so much fun with myself. So it's
you're just,
hard.
you're just the placeholder right now.
Yes. I still have like a hard time figuring that out. I haven't learned. which one is which. But you know, we're getting there. We're trying.
And I actually do have one more question because I really want to hear your answer on this. What's one thing you wish more women would stop apologizing?
I feel like I like let's stop apologizing for not shaving our legs for a date. Let's stop apologizing for being on our periods or like just having a body. Like I'm so sorry that my body is being a body. Like that's insane. Like and I have done these things like, oh, I remember God, like I was seeing somebody and we had like a date plan and I was like, oh, by the way, I'm on my period. So sorry. And then like, why? Of course I'm on my period. I'm a woman. I have one. These are not things that we should be apologizing for. Oh no, I didn't shave my legs and I'm wearing jeans. Why am I apologizing for this? That's insane. Or apologizing for men having feelings. That's the other thing. I feel like men put their feelings on us a lot and then get upset with us. And then we end up apologizing for making them feel a certain way. It's like, no, you have feelings.
Hmm.
Feel them, get used to them. And we shouldn't be apologizing for that anymore.
See, I know your answers are going to be great. That's why I said I have to ask this question. I need to hear what you're going to say.
You. Because I've done everything I've done. I've done all of it. That's why. Oh my God, the amount of times I'm like, I'm not gonna shave my leg for this date, and then I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. Women have body hair. It's fucking normal. I'm
Right?
37. I am not 12. And if you want that, that's gross, and you need to go to therapy.
And it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. These are stuff that you knew I was a woman when you came here. You
Like
know,
a
you
grown ass woman too. Like I'm an adult, and I want to look like an adult. That's the other thing.
bitches down with the patriarchy is what I would say. But
Yes.
so I wanted to get into a little bit of a game. So the game is called Airdrop, Accept, or Decline. So I know we talked about unsolicited dick pics, but we're going to talk about pictures and messages that you would like to receive from celebrities. So you have to either accept, decline, or you can forward to a friend if you're
Oh.
feeling generous.
Oh. Okay. This is
Okay,
fun.
so you ready?
Yes.
So our first person is Michael B. Jordan. If he it's
That's everything he wants. He's the most beautiful man in the entire world. And I do not forward to a friend. I'm selfish. I'm keeping that for myself. That's for me. Sorry.
I agree. I agree. You can forward me your pinky, and I'm just happy. Just you're
Yeah.
right. The most gorgeous man in the
Mm,
world, and he seems
so
so sweet. So I'm like the
yes,
personality, and
he loves his mom and not too much,
yeah,
the right amount.
he's not a mama's boy. So that's
No.
what. Okay. Next person, airdrop, accept, decline, or forward to a friend. Pedro Pascal.
Oh, I accept and I forward to my friends because they are obsessed with him, and I am
Yeah,
as well. He's very fun, very attractive. I accept and forward because I um sharing the love. But Michael B. Jordan, I'm selfish with.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Next one, Usher, airdrop, accept, decline, or forward to a friend.
Okay, I'm angry at Usher. I don't like that he's on tour with Chris Brown, so I'm gonna decline. But
Okay.
like, let me
Yeah,
tell you, growing up listening to Nice and Slow was my favorite song. So
yeah,
young Kara's gonna accept it, but older Kara's like, actually you're making some bad decisions right now, and I'm not gonna be a part.
that is fair.
You
Okay, next person, the airdrop, accept, decline, or forward to a friend, Jacob Elordi.
can't decline. Sorry, I know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Something about him screams fat phobic, and I'm like, he's not for me. Even though I do love a tall, lanky man,
We do, we
that
do.
feels like he would hate the way I looked. I think if he were not famous, he might be someone who would send me an unsolicited dick pic because he was mad that he's attracted to fat women.
Ah,
I don't know, just he seems very fat phobic to me. And I know that this just means he's a good actor, but like when I see him, I see Nate Jacobs, and I hate Nate Jacobs. So You're doing a great job, Jacob Elordi. Sorry, I'm declining it.
Okay, next person. Airdrop accept decline forward to a friend. Mr. Travis Kelce, aka Mr. Swift.
Okay, I am like such a big football fan. I'm a Chicago Bears fan through and
Okay.
through. But that man, I he just seems so dumb sometimes that I couldn't possibly do it. Also, he's not a Chicago Bear, but if he was on the Chicago Bears, my answer might be different. And so because I bear down all day, I'm gonna say decline. He's no Colton Loveland, who is my favorite tight end in football right now.
Okay. So Bears. Okay, I thought that Chicago
Yeah,
Bears.
that's my stupid reason for saying no, but no.
Last one is for this game is airdrop accept decline forward to a friend. Bad Bunny.
Oh my God. I accept 100 times. And I feel like he would want me, he feels like someone who's like for the people. He would want me to show my friends. So I would also forward to all my friends.
He's like share the community.
Yes,
Like
he does. That's how he seems. Oh my God. I mean, that man is also beautiful. I could just watch him gyrate for days and be the happiest person in the world.
absolutely, absolutely. This is a fun game. I'm glad we played this.
This is fun.
So kind of getting a little bit more into your show. Tell us what you want people to take away from the show and what you're excited.
Yeah, I think what I'm most excited about the show is like I hope people like really examine their fat phobia. Like
Mm-hmm.
that you know, you have a lot of friends who like love you and they're like, I would never think like this, but it's like you are only saying this because you know me personally, but like for people that don't know me or like I just want people to look at women in different bodies and just have respect for everyone. I think that's the biggest thing because it is like a lot of the stories I tell are like shocking. Like I can't believe that happened to you, but it's like it's something I say in my show. It's not just me. Like my stories are unique to me, but like the morals of them are not unique at all. Like every fat woman has experienced some version of what I'm telling you. And you're horrified because you have just spent an hour with me and you're like, oh, but you're so funny and you're so beautiful. And it's like every woman deserves that amount of grace when you're watching the show. And I hope that's what it is. And I do it as like it is like we're gonna tee we're gonna have a really good time and we're gonna like joke and laugh, but at the end of the day, like the reason I am getting these messages that you are reading out loud is because of the body that I am living in, and that should horrify you.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody should be treated this way because I have fat on my body. And like fat is not a bad word, it's a descriptor. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the other thing about my show is you could just take the word fat out and put in any descriptor you want that makes you feel like othered in the world. I hope you just like more tolerant and more open with people.
Absolutely. And then can you tell us I know you have, I believe it's two more shows coming up.
We have three. So I have three shows as part of the Hollywood Fringe. Tuesday, June 9th at 9:30, almost sold out. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, Wednesday, June 17th at 11 p.m. That show's going to be a little, I'm going to make it more a little light, like late night to have a little more fun with it. So please come to that one. And tickets are going for that one too. So I assume it will also be close to sold out by that date. And then Saturday, June 27th at 7 p.m. as part of the Hollywood Fringe. And now I can break a little fun news. I do comedy at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in Los Angeles, and they just gave me a run for this show. So
Congratulations.
the first in that will be Thursday, July 30th at 7 p.m. And if you come to any of my fringe shows, that show will look a little different. I have some notes from the artistic director that they like on stage presence and some other things that they want to change. So you'll see two different shows worth coming to both sets.
Yes. And then for those who are unable to attend in LA, is there a way that where can we find clips of the show?
Um,
So,
You can find clips on my Instagram at Cara Meyers. I cannot live stream the show because I do show unsolicited dick pics, and you have to have, and I'm not gonna put this on YouTube, you have to have consent to seeing these things, to coming to my show, and that consent is buying a ticket. Um, and it's on all my posters. By buying a ticket to the show, you consent to seeing dicks. So unfortunately for now, it's just live versions, but I hope, I'm just starting to get the show out into the world, so I'm hoping to go on tour with it. I'm hoping to take it places. Follow me on Instagram. Tell all of your comedy theaters in your towns that you want to see this show and have them reach out to me, and I will bring it. I will do it.
Absolutely. We got to get you to Atlanta because I feel like you
Please,
thrive in Atlanta. So,
please. I also, I want the show to change in ways too. Like, it's weird to write a show about something that is still happening and ongoing in my life. So the more experiences I get, the more the updated versions of the show I get too. So yeah.
well, it was so great talking to you. Thank you so much, Cara. I enjoyed this conversation
This,
fully.
this was so fun. Thank you so much for having me.